Hello there, Nick Davis here, and welcome to my next White Dwarf walkthrough. This time we're going to be talking about White Dwarf 226, October 1998. This is a key issue in many ways, and the reason it's a key issue is because of Warhammer 40k. And why is this special? Well, this is the third edition of 40k. I believe this was the first time we actually stepped back and did a book that was very similar to the first edition Rogue Trader. I actually did a lot of the production work for this book here as well, and maybe in a future video we're going to do a walkthrough so we can take a deeper dive into the production and back end of this book, and I can basically let you know some of the behind the scenes stuff that actually happened to make this book actually happen. But Warhammer 40k was released in October because at that time Games Workshop released their key or core games in September, October of the year. And White Dwarf 226 was the release issue. Again, I call it a key issue because this is where I really came of age in White Dwarf magazine. And when we go into the book, you're going to understand why I am saying that. But before we begin, if you like these White Dwarf walkthroughs, please let me know in the comments below. And also, I would deeply appreciate it if you take a look at my other work. This is the Night Guardians, the Night Guardians Awakenings. It's the tale of cuddly toys who protect you from the monsters under the bed. This is a dark fantasy all ages adventure, and primarily my work for the past 5-6 years actually. So just quickly roll this over here. Let me see here. It's a full on graphic novel, 156 pages, and it's available from Barnes & Noble or Amazon. If you're looking for it in your home country, go to the Amazon website, type in your Amazon extension, it's .uk or .ka, depending where it is. Look for Nick Davis and the Night Guardians, and please check out my work. You see samples of my work on there. Also visit my website, which details will be below in the comment section. Now, that being said, now I've basically did a bit of pitching about some of the stuff that I'm doing now. Let's take a little dive into White Dwarf 226. Here we go. Now, I spent 3 weeks trying to find my archive copy of this. I actually have a pretty complete archive of White Dwarf magazines from the UK, which is actually kind of funny considering that I live here in the USA and all these magazines shipped over to me. I couldn't find 226. I'm probably guarantee you now I basically picked this one up from eBay that I am going to find my 226 in a box somewhere, and it's probably in better condition here. So you can see there's a little bit of a tear on the cover here, but the reason there's a tear on the cover here is because this issue came with a free Dark Eldar Warrior, and that's likely where it was hot glued or taped. So basically the person can pick the magazine up. So here we go. It's Warhammer 40k. We have the John Blanche Black Templars artwork on the front here, which actually looks absolutely beautiful. Let's put this book to one side so it's not in the main line. And let's dive in. It's going to be New Colour Space Marines versus Orcs, 40k Battle Report, even more Regiments of Renown. We covered Regiment of Renowns in the last White Dwarf and in my Dogs of War Warhammer Armies walkthrough. Collecting a Warhammer Undead Army, I think I wrote that one, and stacks of amazing new miniatures. Stacks! Remember that? Stacks of amazing new miniatures. So let's turn over the page and take a quick look. But before we go, you also notice up here there is a change in the mascot here. We actually basically used a different White Dwarf caricature. This is done by Wayne England. Rest in peace, my friend. And this is basically a fun little piece of artwork. And basically, artwork from White Dwarf changes dependent on that. So let's turn the page and see what cuts loose. So here we go. In the green darkness of the far future, there's only war. Standard contents page, basically some changes have happened. We're basically now putting these things into buckets, so you can basically go, if you're a Warhammer fan, you can find all your Warhammer stuff here. Generalized content is underneath White Dwarf, and we've got 40k here, and there's a wonderful inset shot of the John Blanche artwork, which I think still looks absolutely amazing and still holds up even today. Let's have a dive in and see what we can find, right? Okay, here we go. Here's the White Dwarf, guys. Here we go. Here we've still got the question mark of who's coming in here. There I am. There's my young, gormless little face there. Adrian Wood's still with us. Graham David there, who's still suffering from underneath my prose, but he kept up with it. I give him that. And basically, there's Andy Sharman, who basically did primarily a lot of the production layout. I think he was doing the mail order section at this time. You may notice there's a couple of things that happen in here. We've got some Warriors for Hire. This is Gorfag's Ogres and Mercenary Captains. We just released those at the time. And the reason we have Gorfag's Ogre and Mercenary Captain and why they were originally announced because we needed Ogre miniatures, and these were a good excuse to put them. Also, you may notice it here, White Dwarf in need of dwarfers. We are asking asking for letters. And once we get to the letters page in the next White Dwarf, I've got a fun story to tell you about that, which I don't think anybody else actually on the production team actually knows about, but I will share exclusively in my White Dwarf coverage for 227. New releases this month, obviously it's 40k. Black Library's got some bits and pieces coming out, lots of Warhammer releases as well. And of course there's the Dogs of War stuff. Apparently a war hamster, a killer rodent, attacked a, looks like a second edition orc. Let's put it up to the camera a bit. Second edition orc boy there. Oh dear, I don't think he came out of that quite well. Oh well. You know, white hamsters, you know, they're killers. You know what I mean? Just don't dive more into the news. Of course, it's 40k's releasing, so basically we've got lots of 40k news going on here. I always love the Space Marine Land Speeder. In the fan community, I don't think it's got a great love for it, but it always reminds me of a Robin Reliant, which is basically a fantastic piece of British engineering and a three-wheel car. If you don't know what a Robin Reliant is, go check Google after this video and take a look. You will be amazed how silly it really is. We have the ruins down here, plastic scenery, which basically was a huge revolution at this time. Talking about Army Painting King, artwork here, John Blanche's artwork stuff. This is Paul Smith doing a wonderful sketch there too. And we basically Alien Pirate Raiders, which is going to be the Dark Elder, and the first look at the Reaver bikes. And here, hang on, what's this one here? I forgot about this. Nick Davison, when he moved to White Dwarf, it's very clear that the new game is top secret. Here we go. Let's put this up to the camera. This is me, and I think you can see some of the production artwork we used in the bottom, which I was drawing for how to explain to play the game, and this was taken probably sometime during the production part of the game. Yes, I think I was wearing a red shirt then, so that was obviously brave of me. And you can see the old drive on top of there. That's the old Scooter drives. People out there might remember those. We were backing up all over the place for this thing. Anyway, let's turn the page and take a look. Out October 10th. So here we go. News from the Black Library. Stuff coming out of Black Library. Not GW, not an exhibition centre. We're actually starting to talk about this now. If you go to the Lenton location, which I believe they're still there, I think they are. I'm pretty certain they are. There's a huge section next to the store there. That basically it's a museum, has a gaming area. You lead into Bugman's, and we're starting to run events there, which I think was a really good idea. And I think it was basically the real start of Games Workshop actually looking back at what we can give to the hobby, and probably was the first part of us actually start thinking, hey, let's be more open about some things. Queens and Games Development and Development for Japanese business. Yugi was the guy who basically came over and did the translations for you. Great guy. And that kind of thing. Ring Chaos Gate, the PC game. I actually played that game and did it through a run through one time only. Okay, imagine that. Okay, how to paint Dark Elder. Bam, ba, 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 bam. Dark Elder were a new faction actually released in Warhammer 40k 3rd edition. There's lots of rumours about them basically being Eldar pirates and that sort of thing. But this is a whole new faction, a whole new enemy. They're coming in. These are sadistic raiders. Not really standard fighters in grand territory, but they'll come in and pray they don't take you alive. I can't actually remember who laid out this article here. I was doing a lot of Dark Elder at this time, but I don't think it was me. If it was me, I probably would have put my Dark Elder, one of my Dark Elder miniatures into the Dark Elder colour schemes we see here. This might be an Andy Sharman business. Anyway, great little article about how to assemble them, because we didn't really talk about it, because obviously you get the miniature on the front of here, how to do a very basic paint scheme, and some little fun miniatures going on there, basically what's going on. And I had a base with flock, which we didn't talk about too often. We actually talk about using white glue there, but here's a quick life hack. Paint your Citadel paint directly onto the base, or whatever you use to basically paint your miniatures with. And when the paint is still wet, dip the base into your flock box or your sandbox, wherever it is, and when the paint dries, the flock or sand will dry to the base, and the sticks is just as hard as using white glue, and you're not mucking about with glue. Here we go, big double page spread. Warhammer 40k in the Grim Darkness is only war. Bomb, 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 bomb. That's absolutely stunning. Look at that beautiful colour. This is a work of art. This is artwork. This is classic modern art. I think I kind of mangled the terms there. But this is art. There's no way to about it. If you look at this image, and I had the privilege of seeing this thing before it was scanned in on its actual hardboard. It is wonderful. It is so gloriously painted. It's unbelievable. It's really nice. Really, really nice. It is a work of art in no way sense of term. Okay, Warhammer 40k, what is it all about then? I laid this article out, I guess because they thought basically Nick did the 40k production work, he can do a majority of the 40k articles. Not that I was complaining, I'm just pointing out that's probably why they did it. A little throwback to the old, if you go to Rogue, pick up 40k first edition Rogue Trader, there's an entire double page spread of showing the studio people that worked on it. They were done in this weird, like, you know, servitor type headset. So I put that together. We have basically Rogue's Gallery here talking about basically all the additions here. That actually this is an insert by me because I wanted to basically show, hey, there's a lineage here and the importance of this of Warhammer 40k 3rd edition and why it was such a huge departure for Warhammer 40k itself. I believe this game basically rejuvenated Warhammer 40k because it was getting mired down in card templates and all kinds of weird special rules. Interesting pictures there. I think that's taken directly from the book. Here we go again, a bunch of more imagery. Again, I think this is all taken from the book by the looks of it. We want to basically show the stuff that's going on. Andy Chambers does a real good job of basically what has changed, some of the rundowns of what's to be expected, what you would expect for this new game, and basically it's really nice article, nice introduction to the game. I know I told you the story about the shields. These shields were still in use at this time. The reason we put shields on the pages is because these numbers here were basically put in with lino type. Yeah, that's the issue. I had to rub these actual numbers into place when we decided the page order. I don't think that's done now, but at the time that's probably the lowest tech thing. So I had to rub this on the black plate on the actual original films that come in once we've decided the page order of the magazine. More stuff about what's changed. Basically, a lot of this stuff is pulled from the 3rd edition Army book. Obviously, these are done by me and probably Mark Saunders to knock those out. Again, pictures from that sort of thing. But we've actually got Dark Elder here. And I'm going to put this up to the camera so you can see it again. There's some Dark Elder here. They're basically in the purple scheme there. They are actually all metal. There's no plastic Dark Elder in there. They're all metal Dark Elder. And the reason for that is basically they actually weren't actually in production before the game's release. And these are the metal prototypes, and I think we only had like 6 painted. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 7 painted. So 6 Elder Warriors and 1 guy with the big old splinter cannon. So yeah, that's all we had for Dark Elder at that time. Try to make them look a little bigger than they were, and basically they're fine to get the characters in there. Some of the beautiful artwork, yes, actually you could find in the actual rulebook. I don't know if any of this stuff actually transferred across into the next editions. I like to think it is because these are beautiful, evocative pieces. Some nice Des Hanley pieces there, more Blanche stuff, beautifully done. 2-page ad for basically, one for okay, there's no time for peace, no respite, no forgiveness, there is only war. And basically showing the box contents there. These jungle pieces are really beautiful, and so are these ruins. This was a nice box set, really was a nice box set. Also these templates, which I think are still in use now. Warhammer 40k. Can I use my existing army? Again, I think this was laid out by me. And basically, Anna James is talking about basically, can you use your 2nd edition army in Warhammer 3rd edition? And the answer is yes, you can, but with some slight modifications. If anything, I think it made the armor structure easier. As you can see, there's the old metal land speeder there. Yes, it was a land speeder that was even worse than the Robin Reliant version that came afterwards. Let's see if we can get up to the camera, get on the camera here. There we go. There we go. Just there. Look at that. Yeah, that was a metal construction. I always fell apart at the damn time too. Heavy as heck. You could actually hurt somebody by throwing it at them. But same goes to the Dreadnought as well, which is basically if you could actually tip gaming boards if they weren't balanced properly. But this is like a fun thing, and basically showing how these armies put together, using your existing armies, and he's assuring you, yes, you can use your armies at this moment in time. Of course, through the course of the game, the Space Marines were upgraded. They were more Space Marine-y, I guess, and we basically saw some differences, but you can still use your stuff. The Predators on the old Rhinos actually stayed for such a long time until we actually replaced the miniature itself. Another ad, this time the Space Marine Battle Force. This was fun. Basically, use your Space Marine. It's actually Crimson Fist on the front there, and we show Ultramarines in the back there, just to really confuse people. But it was a nice set. It's actually available for $40 there, so all that for £40, which is $50 US, I believe. Actually, a bit of a bargain back then, right? And 40k, we have new stuff coming out for this launch of October. We have the Robin Reliant Land Speeder, we have the new Space Marines with the Dark Elder Warriors, the plastic wargaming terrain. These jungle pieces were nice, these ruins were absolutely fantastic. Basically, then we talk about here's the rule book. You could actually at this time you could actually get the rule book outside the game, which is revolutionary thinking. And or you could get the box set itself as a starter set, but this is great because you already had your stuff. You just pick up the rule book, you good to go. Space Marine Tactical Squad was basically there as well. I'm using the box slip stuff. Dark Outer Warriors is there as well. I actually prefer this darker outline of the boxes to this light blue stuff, but that's just me. Jungle Terrain, Space Marine Battle, a nice little slew of releases coming out that basically got you nicely prepared for the game. The Dark Elder Codex and the Space Marine Codex are there too. In the pipeline, anytime let's give some look at some stuff, the cool 40k stuff coming up. And looking at this one, I think this was a Andy Sharman's piece. But we talk about Codex Blood Angels is coming. I told it's Codex Dark Outer, some of the sneak artwork. Trying not to show too much of the lack of range we had at the time of the Dark Elder, but here's some of them there from the Dark Elder rulebook. There's the Space Marine Devastators we'll be talking about. I think we talk about this in White Dwarf 227, and also other fun bits and pieces. More stuff that's coming out. The look at the Chaos Obliterators, which are basically Terminators on steroids. And then we have basically the Scourges and the Witch Warriors. A wonderful piece of Death Handling artwork there showing these guys here. And a revolution in the Orcs from Gorka Morka, where we made them even more brutal looking. And the Orcs for a long time going for these guys. Okay. 8 Space Marines Brilliant by Jez Goodwin and Nick Davis. Yes, this is a piece that basically we totally sat down. I actually interviewed Jez Goodwin on a tape recorder. It was typed out by one of the girls in one of our personal assistant girls. Basically did a lot. Basically looked after the studio and kept it running. And basically it's an interview with Jez Goodwin why basically what the new Space Marines are, what they are. What's so special about them? What you can do with them? And interesting pieces in here. We talk about RTB-01. You remember RTB-0 Marines? If you don't, here, it's a closer look at them again. There we go. RTB-0 Marines were basically the first multi-part Space Marines. I bought my RTB-01 Space Marines for, I think it was like, what, $10, I think? £10 was the actual price for these guys. And you got like 30 Space Marines in this box, and it was your Space Marine army, and they were fucking fantastic. Now, Ain't Space Marine Brilliant is pretty much a look back and basically look at these sprues here and look at if you remember the RTB series sprues, you could suddenly start making multi-part Space Marines again. This was revolutionary. To this point, basically Space Marines were a metal body with basically plastic arms you could put on them. And this is basically talking about the work that came up behind them and Jez Goodwin's work to make these work and basically how you could put these guys together. Jez Goodwin puts a nice little assembly here, how to assemble your Space Marines. The Space Marine jetpacks, the specialty of the special accessory sprues, the boulder sprues, all these little pieces that basically were put together to makes you evocative Space Marines, and we've got a lovely Space Marines, even some greys. This is different. We didn't get into trouble for this, but we broke rules by showing unpainted miniatures in a pure build form, just to show stuff that you can do with these guys. And there's some beautiful bits and pieces here. This was an amazing article. We never really did something like this before in White Dwarf to this point. It was very much still quite a gaming catalogue. But actually to get behind the scenes of what was going on in White Dwarf, I really enjoyed doing this article. I think it was a fantastic step forward for us. I can't remember if Paul pitched it or it was me. I think it was probably Paul. And I enjoyed the heck out of this. And I felt this is something that we could do a lot more in White Dwarf. And in future issues, we actually do. Codex Space Marines, yes, you're going to see a lot of 40k ads in this one, obviously because it's basically Codex Space Marines. And it's I know you show no fear. Too right. I can't remember put that in. Probably Paul. But again, the only confusing thing about this basically is lots of Crimson Fist stuff, and I don't think we show any real Crimson Fists in the actual book, but we show a lot of Ultramarines. Hey, this is what it is. Crimson Fists were basically Ultramarines by another name anyway. White Dwarf competition, yay! Win White Dwarf subscriptions. If you subscribe to White Dwarf, you get this all kinds of stuff. We started doing competitions, which was basically a fun way of building up our mailing list, which we didn't really exploit. But we had to start somewhere, I guess. The overly huge, made in Photoshop Black Library ads. It is what it is. We can't really fix that too much. As I mentioned before in previous White Dwarf walkthroughs, these are the last things we used to put into the magazine, to the printers, because they were so huge. And back in the day then, this is 1998, 30-40 megabyte files were huge. Tiny now, but huge then. More pictures of what basically Regiments Renown, or what we know as now as the Dogs of War, scripted by the patrons, the Leopards, Leopold's Leopard Company, and Gizini's Besiegers. These are wonderful. There's some of the Perry's best sculpts at this time. They have a great historical feel to them, where there's like slight fantasy twitches to them. Beautiful miniatures. These were premium regiments, and unfortunately were charged at premium, but they were premium regiment sets. Gorthags, mercenary ogres by the fantastic Tris Morrison, who's really good at doing the big guys. Great little guys, and great things. A little too uniform for my taste, but still fun as it is. Berman of Katazaza. I mentioned this in the Dogs of War walkthrough. We just said, hey, look, we took some of the high elements of Leonardo da Vinci's sketches, the Birdmen, and brought them into fantasy because it's fantasy. Why not? Chaos Gate, his Chaos Gate, yes. Believe it or not, we had to take print screens of the screens because we had no actual proper artwork of the internal stuff. That's why these look a little bit low res, but that's how we put this ad together. 1980. Oh, the calendars. I don't remember the calendars at all. I don't know how well they ever did, but here we go. Basically, some of the Games Workshop artwork in calendar form. Of course, we had opened with basically the Dark Witch Hag. Why not? Skeleton Warriors. This month we cornered Celo Miniatures designer Ali Morrison, the man behind the Skeleton Warrior Regiment, and he got him to tell us all about these new plastic skellies. As you can see, we're starting to basically look into more how to do articles here in White Dwarf. White Dwarf was changing into basically more of an in-depth hobby magazine, or an in-depth which we could probably make it at that time, to give insights of what's going on in the back of White Dwarf. And this is Ali Morrison, who basically did the new Skeleton Warriors, and this is a wonderful little article about him. There's the we'll bring it up to the camera so you can see it. That's the this way. No, this way. That's it. The 3-ups were 3-ups to the extra skeletons. Basically, the tool was made off the 3-up here, like a giant Etch-a-Sketch. And basically produce a small tool there. So basically getting the dimensions right between these two things could be tricky, but with the skeletons it really came together. I think now the basically is all digital printing, so it's not too much of an issue. Collecting an undead army. Warhammer army's undead. Now I spoke when I was doing my when I was talking to Ben from 90% Geek when we did our interviews. He actually asked me about his collecting undead armies, and actually I did these. I wrote all the collecting articles that you will find in the White Dwarf magazines. I put it to the point of view of basically more of point of view of what army I would face, because I had Lizardmen at the time, and put together elements of it to basically see how could they put together an army that could beat my Lizardmen. And so they're pretty much not a powerful army, but an army that basically takes elements that gives you a good core army to fight with. And so basically, this is written by me. No credit to me, but I did write this. We basically took the generalization of the stuff and tried to put together an army. We based it roughly off the box sets that were coming out at that time as well. So it gives you nice cores. There's the Vampire Lord miniature, absolutely beautifully sculpted miniature. I love that actually. Skeleton Horsemen, obviously. Skeleton Warriors box set, and had incorporate them into your armies. And how to expand your army. We did our best to basically give you a good, nice little core force based on the box sets that are coming out to basically get you set up and get you started gaming. Duke Harkon's Undead Army. Now this might have been taken from the actual pages of the Warhammer Army's Undead book. I didn't actually work on it, but I think that's where it came from. There's the old Skull Chucker. That was fun. I remember reading the old colour description for that when it came out back in the day. So that was a fun little thing. Skeleton Warriors, how to paint Skeleton Warriors, a much needed how-to paint guide. Fantastic, how to do it in 4 different easy steps. The skeletons are the easiest thing in the world to paint. You could actually stop at stage 3 and you'd be perfectly fine. I think you've got these new contrast paints now. I've not actually tried contrast paints. I know that sounds weird, but that probably makes painting these skeletons even easier and faster. Dem bones. At this time, I was starting to transition to basically being the scenery guy in Games Workshop, in White Dwarf magazine. Mainly, and I always approached it from basically the point of view of basically, I'm just a hobbyist. I'm not a specialist in terrain building at all. So how can I take elements that basically is built in these items, these pieces, and basically display them in a way that basically you as gamers, or us as gamers, can actually use. So I talk about how do you see skeleton pieces in basically conversions, like a Legion of the Damned here, which is still kind of topical at the time. how to basically do special miniatures and that type of thing. And we're basically giving gamers ideas of how to basically take these skeletons, which were very neat at the time. Look at that, it's a beautiful sprue. Basically, it's actually, remember, it's like almost like it's a slightly bigger version of the old skeleton horde sprue, if anybody remembers that. And how to put these elements into your terrain, into your games, in a way that basically you can use them. Games Workshop stores, highlighted stores, Leicester, Storm and the Mound stuff. These are basically ongoing gaming events. I never took part in any game events, so if anybody has, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear what actually how they came about and how you did in them. Grand openings, fun stuff there. Some interesting coupons there. Games Workshop Cardiff. We did a store on me of the month. I'm not sure how long this actually lasted as a section in White Dwarf magazine, but this is basically Stuart McDougall's Beastmen army. Beautiful army, nicely catalogued. Look at that, it's gorgeous stuff. Gorgeous stuff. Again, another Black Library ad. I'd always say these are far too huge and we'll put in last. And we return to Mordheim, City of the Damned. This basically was an open playtest by Thomas Perrin. So basically, this obviously turns into Mordheim, as you do know. And we basically trying to throw those out there, see how you guys reacted to it. Thomas was a great guy. This was a fun skirmish game. It really was. And basically, he's talking about moving some of the scenarios to basically play the game. And here we have another comic strip in White Dwarf magazine. I'm not quite sure how many more of these we got to come, but you know what? Actually, this is the end, so this might be the last one. But you know what? It was fun to see these. It reminds me like the old comic strips like Thud the Barbarian. I missed Thud the Barbarian. Derek the Troll. Anybody ever really missed that? Or Gobbledygook, or Goblin and Gook or something like that. And basically, it was a fun, different thing. I even remember the old Traveller's cartoon. If anybody remembers the Traveller's cartoon in White Dwarf magazine, comic strip in White Dwarf magazine. Okay, we have the mailbox. In fact, I thought this wasn't coming to 227, so I should have really did some scoping out this White Dwarf before going any further. Okay, we had this idea that we were going to basically start doing readers' letters again. I think it was a great idea. Basically, interaction. We got letters regardless of not being requested. I thought it was a great idea and something we never did quite enough of. But this is the start of it. Let's have a quick look. Let's see what's going on. We've had mail from Hampton Court Palace, Hampton Court Road, Hampton. You know you're gonna. Okay, I wrote a letter concerning your editor, Mr. Borsa, who in the pages of the balloon is frequently referred to as the fat bloke. Okay. I'm not quite sure if the mailbox is started yet. It's your chance to have your say on the topics of blah blah blah. These are maybe some letters we just pulled out as random. And this is the actual proper mailing address here. That basically the letters didn't start proper until 227, I think. When we get to 227, I will tell the story of this mailbox, and it will cover the letters that came in, and it'll make you laugh. It will make you laugh. Changing Fortresses by Owen Branham and Mark Jones. Still talking about Warhammer Siege. It's still out, right? So we've got to talk with each other, but let's talk about some of the fortresses that are making your own. At this point, I think we had some castle accessories coming in. These pieces just here. Here's the crenellations or battlements here pieces as well, and how to make the amazing plastic mighty fortress your own with exterior stuff. Basically, Empire castles. We talk about basically painting it to sandstones, adding shields to give it more of an imperial feel, and basically there's a sally door there. In how to combine pieces of the castle to make your own tower stuff, and that's basically something about that's a peel tower there, which is kind of a fun piece. So did I talk about peel towers in here? Oh, maybe we won't come to it. This was written by me. We've basically taken these pieces that were basically made by Owen Branham and Mark Jones, and basically talking about the specialty of it, why these are different colours, what accessories you can use. As I told you at the time, I turned into the Games Workshop senior guy. Well, for White Dwarf magazine anyway, not the great senior guys who made the beautiful senior. Mine was so hack and slash and hobbyist. A Chaos Fortress was basically, we had to do a Chaos Fortress where we only had a tower and wall. So let's do a quick picture of people who were attacking the Chaos battlements. That's the tower and a wall, heavily cropped. Again, same thing for the dwarfs there. For the, I think that's the orcs one as well. We only had like 2-3 pieces, so the crops were insane. But this is basically how to take these elements of the Warhammer Fortress, which was a beautiful set, and how to make it race specific for you. Okay, and we don't talk about peel towers in here for some reason. I do remember writing a piece about peel towers and why you can do a game with just a tower and why basically peel towers cannot be ignored, and you can do entire scenarios around them. But it doesn't appear to be in this one. Maybe if it comes up, I'll talk about it a bit more. But basically, the concept of peel towers is basically it's a lookout tower, or basically and that sort of thing. Where basically there'll be a small unit of guard there. They basically usually be on the borders of many countries, and basically you couldn't really bypass them because they'll send out their runners to basically tell the king that basically this big army's come across there. But if you lay siege to them, you're also basically delaying things. So they do things like burn the walkways, the steps into the tower, and that sort of thing. They can hold out for a fairly long time in these towers. And if you ignore them, you might get basically harried by some of the troops because they're primarily light infantry, like archery and that sort of thing. So there's a huge section about peel towers. I don't think it's in here at all. Maybe if I'm missing it because I can't, I'm not reading the copy, just skimming over it. Maybe it's in there somewhere. Forge World, yes, Forge World's come a long way since these days. But we're talking about the barbed wire, the head scopes, the new Golden Demon. This was the start. Warhammer Earthworks. We were basically feeling our way. Before Forgeworks was really around, I think there was Armorcast. We were basically doing a lot of like big stuff. Obviously, that changed as we went in, but this was the start of basically Forge World. Yeah, it started with literally barbed wire right with a pencil. Of all things, who knew? Warhammer Journal, Citadel Journal. Yeah, I think this is a great idea. I don't know if it's still going anymore. It kind of appeared and disappeared. A quarterly gaming supplement with basically just, out there gaming ideas. I think that's a wonderful thing, right? Let me know in the comments if this is still going on. I don't know. I wish if it is, fantastic. If not, I'm a little bit disappointed. And The Battle of Iron Axe Ridge by Mark Walker. Folk loved Mark Walker's articles because they were funny and about how gamers play games, which we do in White Dwarf. We're still kind of like a little conservative and like, oh, this didn't happen. Oh. But it's basically all the fun you saw in games. They even had a wonderful Dave artwork there. I love that stuff. And it was another fun scenario, Beauty of a Beastman scenario rules, and just having fun with your gaming. Don't take it too seriously. It was a nice little battle here. It's a mini battle report, basically based on notes coming from Mark Walker. It was fantastic. Cleanse and Burn by Joe Johnson, Adrian Wood, and Gavin Thorpe. This is a battle report feature for the new 40k battles, which were now mission-based, which basically made the games very different from a stand-up and hit each other type thing. Beautiful little battle report here. There's the iron. Not the iron. What am I talking about? Good lord, my head's gone completely wacky right now. Imperial Fists. There we go. The Imperial Fists. Some new miniatures in there, some old miniatures in there. Definitely the old Predators, and the old Rhinos here. Commander Space Marines, and here we got a nice little force. What's it, about 1,000 points, I think, wasn't it? We did show the army list, so it's probably about 1,000 points, I think. Then we have War Grishnak Grimjacks. Oh, look at that. That's amazing, right? That is Adrian Wood stuff. All Adrian Wood stuff. We didn't do enough of this. We should show more. We should have showed more actual gamers armies as battle report armies. But this is Mr. Wood stuff. I think they might be studio pieces up there, but this is the majority of the stuff is Woody's stuff, and it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, here's the army list. So it's 1,500 points. Basically, more or less 1,495 for the Space Marines and 1,500 points for the Orcs. And basically, it's a battle report and a breakdown on how to play the game all at the same time in these new mission scenarios. Fantastic way of doing it. Move, shoot, close and so. Basically, talked about how to do that. Interesting in-game features. I think this was done by Andy Sharman. Basically, did the layout for this and did all these maps as well. Great stuff here. Basically, again, it's talking about how basically the game mechanics work, which is very important for an intro game. I still think 1,500 points is very large for an intro game, but it worked. So because 1,500 points moved fast. In the old Woos, it took forever. Space Marine Turn 3, MRO tracks, and then we're basically Orc Turn 3. Basically, the fighting's going crazy here. Great stuff. Great battle report. More in-game shots, crossfires. getting to turn 4. I don't remember any games going past turn 4, but this is probably going to prove me wrong when I turn the page. And whoever basically completed the scenario rules, right? Oh, we're at turn 5. See, I knew it would prove me wrong. We talk about how bikes work, how transport vehicles work, the use of cover. All the elements in this new Warhammer 40k game were covered in this battle report as basically how to play. Assaulting vehicles, turn 6. We're actually going to turn 6 then. Okay. I don't remember when my 40k games going past turn 4, but I did play a lot of Dark Elder, so they got slaughtered by turn. They went by turn. If the Dark Elder are still fighting the army they're facing against about turn 4, they're usually in real big trouble. Imperial Guard, you try to make it last as long as you can so you can wear the other person down. But there we go. There's the battle report here, and turn 6. We built special 10 sections. So the Orcs, the Space Marines held the sections, I think, but they lost the game in the end because Adrian's a really good gamer, and there's his fun stuff here. Here's the mail order section here. I think Andy Sharman's still doing his bits and pieces here. I know I take over eventually here. And there we go. Yeah, it's what it is. It's a mail order section. We highlighted the miniatures, showing them to you. Doing a good job of showing them than we did before. We're actually starting to show things at actual size now, which makes much more sense. Some army deals, Space Marine army deals based on the 40k Red report. Duke Harkon's Undead Army, which I basically it was based off my article here. Barbed wires in there. And remember this the cardboard ruin stuff? I do. I built the Redoubt and that piece as well. Built them into a fortress thing, which we'll talk about in another White Dwarf segment. There's the ruins, regiments. Bundle deals for Regiments of Renown. Great ways of getting hold of this. Midas the Mean. I'm having a quick look at these things here, and I know I said in the Dogs of War Army book walkthrough, I don't remember the cavalry, Vacla's Vultures, or something like that, basically being done as miniatures. But I might be proven wrong in a future dwarf. I kind of hope I am, because my memory's kind of just cheats at the best of times. Advanced orders for Space Marine stuff, at bargain prices and that type of thing. You can pick up a set. Advanced order codex for only $8. It's usually $10 normally. £10. I keep saying dollars. I've been in the US for 23 years. I do apologise. There's Troll 11, which is basically a mail order's own magazine. Fantastic idea. Management of the old Dark Sun, Black Sun magazine. Remember any good bit out there? Remember those? And basically order form, White Dwarf subscriptions, and we're onto the back page. And the back page is obviously, a 40k breakdown of what's coming on, and look at the Dark Elder Witch. That's why he looks a little bit out of the sync in this entire thing. And that is the White Dwarf walkthrough for 226. Why is this a key issue? Well, one, it's the release of Warhammer 40k, 3rd edition. So that's an important thing. It was the first time we really did in-depth looks at some of the stuff that went on behind the scenes in White Dwarf, and this started that walk in that direction that I think White Dwarf should have gone in the first place and should have stayed in. And it's a good, solid issue about introducing the game. What is the game? Why is the game important? How to play the game? How you can move your miniatures over to this game, and it covered everything in this fantastic magazine for only $3.50 at that time. This is October 1998. Fun, well made, well put together, well thought out magazine. This is basically the real start of the golden age, I think, of White Dwarf, where people basically look back and go, yeah, that's what White Dwarf should have been. This is where it really began, ladies and gentlemen, at White Dwarf 226. Now, that's the walkthrough done. Coming up next week will be walkthrough from the White Dwarf 227, November 1998. I am all over the place today. I do apologise. Why is this issue special? Well, you're going to find out in next walkthrough next week. But also, this is the magazine. Everybody in White Dwarf went on vacation, apart from me. Aha! I might give you a clue what's going to happen. So you take care now. Let me know your thoughts about this White Dwarf walkthrough in the comments below, and I'll answer any questions I can, obviously in the comments below. Obviously, my memory's a little bit Swiss cheese. I look forward to hearing what you guys got to say about it. Do you want to give me any thoughts where you like any other walkthroughs you'd like to see me do? I am going to try to do walkthroughs of stuff that I've actually participated in, so therefore I can keep my feedback as honest and at some points I can be without any speculation. And thank you for following me. Please, I think follow, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications for new ones here. Please check out my my fantasy comics. I would deeply appreciate it if you can. We also have a Kickstarter going on at this moment in time for Let's Hunt Monsters, which is very much a Tom and Jerry style violent encounter between a teddy bear and a bunch of monsters. I really think you guys would love that. I will put a link to the Kickstarter in the comments in the description below, so you can go check it out. It's available all over the world. You know, if you like the thought of it, and basically helping me to keep going in my comic book projects, please back that as well. And that is that, my friends. So there we go. You take care, and well, see you around on the internet. Bye.